Around 20 years ago, people around the world started displaying a range of special powers and abilities. With each year, the number of these cases increased. The governments of the world needed a way to organize and regulate these people. My name is Angus, and I work for the Superhuman Action Response Team. With my partner Sal, I help document these powered individuals and their exploits. Because heroes don't do paperwork.
I like it, Sal. I'm surprised we didn't notice before this, you know?
It is an unfortunate acronym.
Yeah, I gotta wear it. Like, you're not wearing it, I'm wearing it, you know?
Yeah, it stands out. It's the yellow lettering on orange jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
wow. You can pick that out from at least 500 meters away. That just stands out.
Sal, it makes me want to wear it less, okay?
Well,
We've
you
said
can't not wear
superhuman
it.
action. No, I know. It's just we've said superhuman action response team so many times that I of course was hoping we could find some kind of short form for it. I just didn't think it would be this, man, and I didn't think I'd have to wear it plastered all over my body.
Yeah. And well, it's all the way up the legs too. Just
No, I know. I'm gonna say I'm covered in S.H.A.R.T. I've got S.H.A.R.T all over me. Okay,
yeah,
I'm not happy about this, Sal.
across the butt,
I was
down the
excited.
legs, up your
Yeah,
back.
why?
Just
Why
S.H.A.R.T
is it
everywhere.
covering? Why is it both across the butt of the pants and also across the lower back of the jacket?
You know, you could see
It's
they
just
tried to do like a design, like a sun cresting a horizon of a new day.
yeah.
But it's unfortunate that it's a brown sun rising out of the back of the
I
pants.
just don't like it. I don't like it, and I wish I just. Oh God. Okay. Well, I'm sorry. All right, we got to start the show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Heroes Don't Do Paperwork, the only podcast about events both big and small in Super City. I'm one of your hosts, Angus, and this is my co-host, Sal. How are you doing, Sal?
I'm doing quite well. I got up this morning, started to jog. Yeah,
Really?
jog down to the end of my driveway and back up. Figured that was a good start.
It's a pretty short driveway, though. You know.
Well, I didn't want to
I mean,
overdo
you do
it.
it. Well, you do it multiple times. Or you just do it the once.
I'll just do it the once. I figure start off small and work my way up. Maybe get out to the
Yeah, start
sidewalk
off real small.
tomorrow.
Wow, that's a big step.
It is. But that's how you get moving forward, is you take that first big step.
That is, well, yeah, or first little step. That's very inspiring. Thank you.
So we've already briefly covered your new uniform. But
yeah.
you were also mentioning that you have this new mobile rig for podcasting, and you had a really clever name for it.
I did.
Yeah. Oh, what was it?
Okay, yeah. I had a mobile rig for podcasting.
It's like the pod racer.
Oh yes. Well, I was just kind of I was just kind of tossing that around. I wasn't sure, and I would run around, I guess, and say that now this is pod racing, right? And I
Yeah. You got to watch out for your competition, though. There's podcasting on the go, or pod racing, as we'll henceforth call it, is starting to become a
oh yeah,
very
we're just gonna call. Yeah, it is
is
very
turning
crowded.
into a
Yeah,
fierce competitive market. Yeah.
yeah. A lot of podcasts actually, and I'd like to think it's because people have heard ours and they're like, oh, so that's what a podcast is. I guess I'll try making my own. But a lot of podcasts have started popping up around Super City, various topics, lots of food, a couple different, a whole podcast just about different restaurants or, what to do in Super City, all these, all with very clever names. I'm sure we'll touch upon some other time.
Yeah. Do you hear the Villains League is doing their own podcast now?
The League of Villainous Evil has a podcast?
Yep.
Wow. I kind of want to listen to that. All right, so, Sal, I think there's another big thing, of course, that the listeners really want to hear about is how my training's going, right?
Sure. Okay.
Wait, do you not want to hear about it? We could talk about something else. I just kind of figured it was pretty exciting. It's kind of big news in my life. At no point, you haven't really asked me how I'm doing, so I didn't really have a convenient way to slide it in there. But you know,
I'm sorry, Angus. Please tell me about how your training's been going. I'm
well,
very excited to hear about it.
now I don't want to, so I'll just tell the listener. Listener, thank you for caring. My training is going really well.
Oh wow.
I started off. Sal, are you upset?
No, listening with my full attention.
Okay, because you're
Go ahead.
pouting quite a bit.
Go ahead.
Okay, okay. Well, I have started my training to become a superhuman action response team operative.
Ooh.
Um, yeah, I'm sure maybe we'll find a better way of saying that. And it's been really rigorous. You know, I've got the new uniform, and it is it's pretty intense training, man. I've got a lot of bruises. My legs are sore. You're talking about running up and down the your driveway a few times, or just once rather. I've had to get up really early, like so early, so much earlier than I'm used to. I have to get up at like 8 o'clock now in the morning, and I got to
Wow.
get all the way over here for training. I know I gotta run through tires. I gotta do push-ups. You know, I haven't mastered those ones yet, and I trip on the tires quite a bit. But you know, I'm getting there. I'm feeling some progress. I think. Feel Sal. Feel this. Feel this muscle. Feel this.
Wow. That is bulging.
Yeah. 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 And when the swelling goes down, it'll be more noticeable that there's a muscle in there. Ah.
I guess I apologize for not being more supportive of you. It's personally, I see you becoming a field operative as something of a step back in your career. You were well on your way to becoming one of the top bureaucrats of the Superhuman Action Response Team. And really, once you go out into the field, I find it makes you soft. You know, you're no longer sitting behind a desk. You're just doing your 9 to 5. And then you go home, take off your combat boots, and, you lose your edge, I guess is what I'm trying to get at.
I really appreciate that, Sal. I think those are really sweet words. But I think you and I are we're different breeds. You know, I can't stand doing the same thing over and over and over again. I want some excitement. I want some changes, and I think I'm going to get that out of being an operative. You know, I got new scenarios. I'm constantly training in various tactics and stuff. So it's very exciting for me. I don't want you to be too sad, man. I do. Maybe in a different life, I could have been one hell of a bureaucrat.
Well, just know the door's always open if you want to come back. But what are we doing?
Yeah, Sal, I want to introduce our guest, returning guest to the show. He's acting as one of the many night classes I have to take. He's teaching some of those for me. So please welcome back to the show, Eustache Henge.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going, man?
It's going well. It's great to see you again, Angus. And might say, you're wearing the shirt out of that jacket.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you, Mr. Henge. Thank you.
That's a really clever way of saying that. I think that's going to catch on.
Oh, I've been trying.
Mr. Henge, I call you
Please,
that in class.
call me Eustache Henge.
Okay, so your full name. Okay. Well, Eustache Henge, thank you for coming back on the show. I think it's been a while. It's been it's been quite a many number of weeks, like 20 something weeks since we had you on the show. So, we're all a lot of big changes in Super City and in our lives. And so I thought it'd be really interesting to have you back now that you're serving as one of my teachers, one of my instructors on how to become an operative. I wanted to kind of pick your brain on that.
Figuratively, of course. You stay away from my brain meat there, young man.
Of course. I wouldn't dream of touching your brain meat. But is it safe to say that
what you do in your dreams is your own business? That's Angus time.
Yeah. Thank you, Eustache Henge.
But just to be clear, in the real world, if you were to come at me, I would destroy you.
Yes, that's Sal. That's actually something Eustace says at the end of every class. It's kind of his little sign off.
Is that he will
It's a
destroy
credible
you
threat.
Yeah, because it's okay if people come at him in class, but he's like, if you come at me in the real world, I will destroy you. And then the class kind of all like nervously chuckles.
At first, yes, but once one of them tries it, they all know.
It's
When
not
you've
a
seen
joke.
the sorts of things that I have, it's not a joke. It's a real concern for me that I have a hard time telling friend from foe from classmate.
Well, Eustace, I had a hard time when I walked into the classroom and I saw you behind the desk, and I walked up and I set that apple down on your desk, because I want to make a good first impression. Um, I set that apple down on your desk, and I was kind of surprised to see you because previously I knew you to be a prolific veteran of the hench person arts, of that kind of career path. So can you tell us a little bit about how you ended up as one of my instructors?
Absolutely. And thank you again for the apple.
No problem.
Granny Smiths are my favorite.
Good, I'm glad.
Well, you're welcome. Yes,
I would have thought it would have been
tell
Adam's apples were your favorite.
Could you explain that, Sal?
Well,
I'm not sure if I appreciate that remark.
I think it's a reference to your history as an organ
very
harvester?
prolific, very prolific history as an organ harvester.
It's a defining trait, some would say.
Let's just try to keep that in the past.
Okay, of course.
I am, of course, still doing it, but let's try to keep it off the record. This isn't being recorded, is it?
This is a podcast. Yeah, this is being recorded.
Excellent. Well, let's just say that what I do in my own time is not to be looked into any further. But yes, I am a contractor for the superhero action response team now. Thank you for reminding me that I am not in a tenure track position.
Sorry.
No, it is all right. When you retrain and change careers later in life, you sometimes have to start at a more bottom rung. But suffice to say that my years and years of being brutally murdered, beaten up, and otherwise disemboweled by various superheroes and villains has left me wanting a quieter life.
We reached out to Eustace a while back with a proposition to take part in our new pilot program, from professional crime to professional professoring. And so
At first,
far,
I did not return the calls because the name of the program sounded fake.
It sounded fake. It sounded made up I get what you mean. Yeah. But no, there are banners. There's a placard, in fact.
yeah.
So yeah, no, it's definitely the real name of the program.
Yes, I will say that what clinched it for me was the very generous health benefits, which will end up paying millions to me over the course of my unnatural life. So thank you for not double checking that fine print.
Damn. So you found a way to play the system. Well, hey man, good for you.
Thank you. It is one of the highlights of my career. But as I was saying, this quieter life is something that I have wanted for a while, and I have found it through the joy of teaching, educating young minds.
Eustace, I have a question on behalf of S.H.A.R.T. You have here on your instructor's form, you put as your teaching major undeclared, and I didn't think instructors could do that, and I was hoping you could maybe elaborate on what you'd be teaching Angus here today.
Oh.
It turns out you can get away with a lot if you know the bureaucracy and are willing to literally kill yourself and drop off the face of the earth anytime people come asking questions. But
Yeah, that's got to be a nice kind of tactic for you. You faking your death and whatnot to kind of just get away from some of your
it's not
problems.
fake.
Oh no, I guess not. I guess that's true. But you're not getting like buried, Or are you?
Sometimes, yes.
Oh my god.
Depends on how much you need to commit to the bit.
Yeah. Yeah, if your family like really insists on like an open casket funeral, you're probably like, damn.
My family often insists on not being contacted again.
Yeah, it's probably like a
Yeah,
boy
me
who
too.
cried wolf scenario at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, several times literally. But speaking of being 6 feet under, I will elaborate on what I plan to teach. Angus, some of this will be a review, but you might want to listen because it will, of course, be on Monday's quiz.
Oh, geez. Okay. All right. I'm going to actually write this down.
Due to my many years as a professional hench person to various villains, I am an expert in the villain arts. So who better to educate the next generation of S.H.A.R.T field agents than me in the fine art of undercover work?
Wow. Yep. No, this is Sal. This is actually one of the areas I thought I could be. Thought I could really flex my knowledge because I know a lot about the different supers and villains and stuff like that in our city, and so I figured who better to kind of wiggle my way into their into their groups and figure out more of their secrets. I really wanted to develop this skill, so this is one of the classes I really wanted to focus on, and I thought Eustace would be a great teacher for this.
I'm also the only teacher.
That is true, yes.
One of the first things I always notice about you, Angus, is that you have no distinct feature that would be otherwise noticeable. The most noticeable part about you is how unnoticeable you are. So undercover work really sounds right up your alley.
I've had a lot of people, teachers, family members, lovers, describe me as wholly unremarkable.
You're going to save a lot of money on rubber masks, but if you do need some, I can get you a great deal.
I don't trust you. I feel like those are just going to be real faces. Eustace, are they real faces?
Eustace.
I am not commenting on that at this time.
Sal, I've taken that to understand that it's usually he's doing that so that he doesn't incriminate himself. So it means usually the answer is pretty ominous.
I'm walking a new interesting line. Why, you want them moist? You sick bastard.
No, it's the exact opposite.
I can do that.
I would rather they not be faces, period.
Yeah, he wants them, Droid. All right. Well, I wanted to kind of pick your brain on a bit more of your curriculum, and once again, like I know we talked a bit about it with your syllabus and stuff like that. Although your syllabus was fairly vague when it came to some of the topics.
Never leave a paper trail.
Yeah, yeah. Which is great. So like what are some of your main techniques that you're hoping to pass on to us as students, I guess, in the art of undercover work?
There are two broad categories of undercover work that if you're going to be a good field agent, you want to be an expert in at least one of these. But if you want to be truly exceptional, then you got to master both. On the one hand, you've got long-term undercover life. This is the sort of thing where you say goodbye to your friends, to your family, to those aforementioned disappointed lovers.
Yep.
And you begin a new life to gain the trust of some of the most horrible people in Super City or elsewhere. And on the other hand, you have short-term work, where, say, you need to attend a function of the Crown Prince of Lithuania and craft a new identity for that event in order to seduce a wealthy heiress, smuggle large jewels in your rectum or other cavity, jump out of a window, land in a canal, float down the river with the other flotsam, and be picked up by a Norwegian crab boat sometime later that week. The sort of basic things.
That's very specific.
Yes,
man.
that all takes usually about 24 hours.
Oh, boy,
You're home in time for dinner, which, if you do your job right, is going to be crab.
So when you said later that week, you meant later that week by a day.
Look, I don't have a very good grasp of time.
No,
Sometimes I go in and
hey,
out.
I imagine with your with your functional immortality for listeners, if you haven't listened to the previous episodes of this show to understand what the fuck we're talking about, what are you doing? But for those of you jumping in, Eustace is functionally immortal, so he can heal from any injury. And yeah, that's got to play hell on your sense of time, I imagine, especially if you're not sure how long you've been dead for, so I imagine that's quite horrible.
Yes, it's similar to how if you suffer from short-term memory loss, you're going to want to give yourself little clues to remember, when you got to take your pill, when you got to, pick up your laundry. But in this case, it's good to keep a list of enemies, relatives, things you're allergic to, because that can sometimes actually change depending on how much your internal organs were damaged. Yeah.
Interesting. Have you ever gained or lost any allergies?
Yeah, since we last talked, I am now allergic to wheat.
Really?
Wow.
What you got killed by like a combine or something? Like what happened?
No, a horse stepped right through my chest, and I
Oh my.
can't explain it. But on the other hand, I can now breathe underwater.
Oh, wow. Okay, well that's pretty insane. Yeah.
The human body is a miracle. We know so little still.
The superhuman body, but
now, Eustace, is it that you can breathe underwater, or is it just that you stopped breathing underwater and it's just not important to you?
Yeah, you just keep healing from death and drowning.
This is a technicality that I feel should not disqualify me from applying for a second series of benefits to reflect my new superpowers.
I think on the forms you would have to say, I no longer need to breathe underwater, rather than I now have the ability to breathe underwater. You know what I mean? These technicalities are really important when it comes when it comes to like insurance policies and these kinds of things. This is Sal's area of expertise. These like one little detail like that can really screw you. So you might want to take his advice on that, especially if you want to hold on to those sweet benefits you got.
Sal, perhaps we should schedule some sort of meeting, although I must say I'm learning so much about the bureaucratic process from Angus here. Is he sure he wants to be a field agent?
I've said this already this episode, but I'll say it again right now. I have never been more disappointed in someone's chosen career path than at this moment. I had spent many nights pondering the best way to help develop Angus into the ultimate bureaucrat, and for him to step away from his true calling like this, I don't know if I'll ever recover.
Wow.
But
Sal,
that's just me.
I'm sorry. I didn't really. I get why you were, maybe a little frustrated with me this morning. I'm really sorry, man. That's. But you got to let me, make my own mistakes. It's like how Eustace says on all of our classes. Making mistakes is how we learn, right? Or something to that effect.
It has
You're paraphrasing, but essentially, yes. Making mistakes is how we learn. Not to make mistakes, because it will usually lead to your death. Yes.
Yeah, it was a little more succinct when I said it.
If I was going to shorten it, though, I would perhaps focus on the death. Making mistakes is generally how you die.
Yes, and dying is how we learn.
It's how I learn.
It's how you learn. I'm sorry,
but not everyone has my particular set of skills.
No, and that is a very good point, Eustace. You have a very unique set of skills that lends itself well to undercover work and other types of work. But for Angus here, who really doesn't have any remarkable skills, he has plenty of skills, don't get me wrong, plenty of skills, just none remarkable.
Yeah, I'm just mediocre. I'm like a jack of all trades.
Precisely.
Master of none type thing. Okay.
I don't know if you could properly instruct him, especially when it comes to things like dying.
I feel like I'm having a clash of mentors here. You guys have both mentored me in some ways, and I feel like maybe that's creating some friction between you guys. Is it possible?
I will say
I think you're reading a little bit into our relationship.
Oh, okay. Sal?
We'll say that normally I find Eustace endearing and very friendly, but at this moment I could do without.
Okay. Well, let's get back to the interview then. Speaking of endearing qualities, Eustace Henge, this is one of the concerns I have going into undercover work is that like I am really good at making friends. You know, everybody loves me. Everyone's always talking about, hey, that guy over there, that's the guy that like, you know, I'm unremarkable, but they like me.
Mm-hmm.
What if I start becoming attached to the people that I the criminals? You know, I don't want to. I know they're villains and stuff like that, but like, do you have any ways of kind of distancing oneself? Like, I don't want to become too attached because then I might not be able to, when the time comes, turn these people in.
Absolutely. This is a very valid concern, my dear boy. Your capacity for empathy will serve you well, but you are correct that there will come a time when you will need to betray everyone you've ever cared about, create a passport from skin shavings and discarded records that you find in a bin somewhere. You're going to have to steal the car of your best friend. You're going to drive it off of a cliff. You're going to have his fiance in the trunk. These are all just givens.
Oh boy.
You will emerge from this fiery crash a new man with new teeth that you have taken from a fiery corpse.
Okay.
You will walk through miles of desert, unable to die, but knowing that you must go on, wanting to just lie down. I'm sorry, I'm miles away.
No, it's okay.
One technique you can use is to keep a diary.
Okay.
Keep a diary, two separate diaries. One is going to be your undercover life diary where you write the thoughts of the Angus that you are pretending to be. This will ensure that if someone ever searches your house, they can find that. The other diary is going to be your true thoughts, something to keep you sane.
Okay.
This diary you're going to write on tiny pieces of paper and swallow each night.
Oh, no. Okay.
This metaphorically helps you internalize your true self, but also it means that someone would have to dissect you fairly soon afterwards in order to find evidence.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. Yeah. Okay. So, Sal, this is one of the things, at least from the first class, that I noticed. Eustace's teaching style, he pulls a lot from his own life, and clearly
seems
things
very
he has
anecdotal. Yeah.
Yeah. And so what I have to do as a student, and I think this is the test that he's trying to kind of put our students through, is taking what he says and seeing how it applies to him, and kind of picking and choosing these elements that we can kind of map onto ourselves. At least that's what I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Perhaps a more practical example would be helpful.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Say, for example, here that Sal is a shot caller, a capo, a high-ranking member of some sort of criminal organization that you are attempting to infiltrate.
Okay.
Say he has found your stomach diary, and he has questions for you.
Okay, well, wait a second. If I'm understanding this correctly, if he has found my stomach diary, I have been dissected.
Post-dissection,
at that point. Yeah.
Let us say that you kept the diary somewhere that would be less fatal to you if found.
Gotcha. Okay, so like
Again,
a mouth diary then, maybe.
Sure.
S.H.A.R.T diary.
Again, yes. Adapt for your own experience.
Yeah,
say he has found
S.H.A.R.T
he has found your S.H.A.R.T diary. He has read in you the truth. And you don't know how much he knows, because it's been days since you ate that diary.
Yeah.
He's called you into his office. You know that if you do not convince him that you are loyal to him and his organization, that you will not leave this room with your tongue or feet.
Okay.
And I suppose for you, your life. For me, that's just, it's an inconvenience. I'm walking in circles all day. It's a thing. Say that Sal is asking you these questions. You must remain committed to your story no matter what.
Okay.
That means you will have to be able to look him in the eye and say things that you do not really believe. Now, one technique that you can use is you hide a little bit of a sharp object under your fingernail. This is sometimes used to beat a lie detector test, but it can help you remain focused on something other than the fact that you are lying.
Okay.
The bigger the lie you have to tell, the deeper you're gonna want to put that object in. Once I put an entire pencil inside my leg.
Okay.
This is when I had to pretend to like gefilte fish.
Okay, but hang
I
on.
hate these fish, but they were served as the main course, and I really, really needed them to believe that I was on the level. So I put this pencil right through my knee, I gritted my teeth, and I ate these fish. Is any of this getting through to you?
No, I think I get why it would work for a lie detector, because that's monitoring your vitals. So a moment in which your heart spikes from pain, it wouldn't. It would also kind of maybe look like your heart is spiking from a lie. So you could, decredit the whole thing. I don't understand though how stabbing a pencil through your leg helps you enjoy fish. I guess you're focusing on the pain, but wouldn't your face give it away?
I don't understand. Do you react on your face when you experience extreme pain?
Yes, big time. I react in my face when I experience little pain.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, let's try a different method.
A paper cut. Do you remember, Sal? Do you remember that time I got that paper cut and I was just inconsolable for the rest of the day?
Yeah, no, that was a whole day where I had to get the Angus safety blanket, a cup of
Thank you.
cocoa, and
Thank you.
just various snacks, and whispering reassuring nothings into his ear for a full 8-hour shift.
And I appreciate that.
It was a very endearing moment. Now,
Thank you.
Eustace, I can't help but recall that anecdote you just told me, while also looking at your fingers that I've noticed you keep sort of snapping at odd angles. Are you currently applying your methodology while in this podcast?
Sometimes I just like the way it feels.
Okay.
All right.
You just
See, what Sal has demonstrated here is attention to detail. Yes, I am currently telling a bit of a fib.
Okay.
Angus.
Yeah.
You're a very sweet boy, but I just don't think you're cut out for a life of deep undercover work.
Come on. I can do it. I can pretend to be tough. I can pretend to be a bad guy. Look, I don't. Oh, okay, wait. I'll pretend to be a bad guy right now. Sal, I think you suck at filing paperwork. See?
Wow.
I was like, yeah.
How's
that feel?
Think you know someone and then it's just laid out all in front of you like that. Puts everything into perspective, doesn't it?
Oh man, I'm sorry. That no.
Sal, no.
Sal, that was just pretending.
No. You obviously had this on your mind for a while, and now you've said it, and now you can't take it back, can you?
No, I just, it was a bit, I was just, it's a thing. It was just, I was acting, I was performing. Sal, it was totally fake, man.
And your cover is blown. Congratulations on your Mexican
I have to agree with
necktie.
Eustace. I have to agree with Eustace.
Oh no. I failed. Okay. Well, I thought I'm just empathetic. Remember, like you were talking about, Sal, you seemed hurt by that genuinely. So I wanted to, okay, maybe I'm not cut out for this. I think if I finish your class, Mr. Henge, that I think I can get better at this. I've only done one. It was 1 3-hour class, and it was a lot of anecdotes.
It was 40% of the grade.
The what? Wait, the first class?
Yes.
There was no. But the quiz on Monday. I thought the quiz on Monday would be worth marks. The first class there was.
Yes, so the quiz is worth another 40%.
Okay.
This class is 40% pop quiz, 10% attendance, 40% how much I like you on the first day.
Okay. Well, how did I do on the first? So wait, so you didn't think I could hack it on the first day? What did I get?
Look, Angus, as it stands right now, you're, as I said, a very sweet boy. But Sal is
Yeah.
right. You're just not cut out for a life of tough
Okay, well,
things.
hang on. I might not be cut out for pretending to be a bad guy, but I think there's still a lot I have to offer as an operative, an agent of S.H.A.R.T, if you will. I think.
I will not.
Okay, fine. For Human Action Response Team agent, I think that maybe just let me see some of these other classes. I don't need to be. I don't need to major in undercover work. I can look at other stuff. There's plenty of other classes. Okay.
That's true. I do also teach a class on
Oh,
snorkeling.
okay. Well,
But tell you what, Angus,
that does
I
sound
will
pretty fun.
give you a passing mark in my class if you can demonstrate competency in one other area of undercover work. As I
Okay.
said, there are two broad categories,
Right.
and perhaps your capacity for empathy will lead you to be a master in the art of undercover seduction.
Oh,
Okay. Well. Okay. Well, I'm a little rusty. My love life has not been crazy stellar. I've been really busy with the podcast, but yeah, I got moves. I got game.
I'll be the
Excellent.
judge of that, Angus. I want you to practice your seduction skills on me.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh God.
Let me set the scene for you.
Okay.
Thou,
Of course.
you are the crown prince of Lithuania.
Okay.
Angus, you
Yeah.
have been sent by the Superhuman Action Response Team to ensure that Sal here, Prince Sal, if you will, does not become the new king. You will have to convince him to elope with you. Thou, as Crown Prince, you have many duties, and a bloodthirsty and vengeful father who has never let me sleep. But I digress. Angus,
Mhm.
convince him to run away with you.
Okay. Okay.
You're at the
So-
ballroom. You've just stepped away to get some drinks. There are people nearby, but you have a moment of quiet alone.
My
okay,
my royal throat is mighty thirsty.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, I got this. I got this for you, Your Highness. Cranberry vodka, your favorite.
Thank you, Angus. I will drink this now.
It's at the, of course. It's at this point that I start to establish some basic contact. You know, I try to touch hands with the prince while we're passing glasses.
Oh.
You know, I look a little maybe longer than I should, but then I look away when our eyes meet. You know, um, Your Highness, I have to admit, Lithuania is a beautiful country.
Thank you. I am a big fan of looking at its many dikes and fjords.
Mm-hmm. I'm especially a big fan of how your main exports are refined fuel, machinery and equipment, chemicals, textiles, foodstuffs, and plastics.
I've never had
It's at
someone
this
so
point.
eloquently list all of the major exports of the country before. Please do speak more.
Well,
Yes, don't stop.
I was just in awe by how the estimates for 2017 had Lithuania at exporting $29.12 billion. I'm just so impressed. Do you mind if I loosen this bow tie on my tuxedo? It's quite hot in here. I I haven't danced like that in ages, Prince.
I can't help but notice that your chest hair has been trimmed in the usual cultural style. It's very tasteful.
Thank you, thank you. Well, when in Rome, as they say, and I take this opportunity to get much closer to the Prince of Lithuania at this point, and such that I'm whispering everything I say to him. It's a beautiful night, but not as beautiful as you.
Oh,
Oh,
I
it's at this
don't.
point our hands touch.
I am not normally charmed by such pretty words, but I suppose exceptions could be made.
I'm I've always wanted a tour of the royal suite bedroom.
Good. Get him to a secondary location.
Yeah.
Well,
Do
then,
you want to show me?
it would be unseemly for us to go up there together, but if you were to perhaps maybe drop off a bottle of wine later, here is a key that you can use to get in. I hope I see you then.
This key smells amazing.
Thank you. I must away.
Describe its smell.
It smells like the inside pocket of a freshly dry clean suit with maybe the hint of lemon.
Hell yes, it does. This is so hot.
Okay. Well, how am I doing?
Oh, you're doing great. I'm close.
Okay. Wait a second. What are you doing with that rope?
Don't mind me.
Okay.
All the usual dangers of autoerotic asphyxiation
Hang
mean
on.
nothing to the likes of
Hang
Eustache
on.
Henge.
For the listener, he is full on standing on his chair, trying to throw a rope, which it looks like, over a rafter. Like, okay, man, come on.
It's a basic undercover technique. This is how you would escape from the prince's balcony suite. Is draping the bed sheets over the side, much like I am now draping this rope around my neck.
Okay.
And
You look like you're having difficulty with the knot due to all of the lotion on your hands. Here, let me give you a hand with
would
that.
you like to give me a hand with that, Prince? Yes.
Okay, wait a second. Oh no. Oh, okay, wait. Okay, stay in character. Angus, stay in character. Oh, Prince, I didn't know you were into this kind of debauchery.
Well,
All
what?
Lithuanian princes are.
Okay, well, allegedly. I don't know what we're allowed to say.
All personal quarters of royalty are not complete unless there's some peasant dangling from the rafters. It's almost like a mobile that helps me fall asleep at night. But let's pay no attention to him.
Right.
Do you have that wine I asked you for?
Yes, I do. Merlot, 1978.
Hold
Merlot.
everything.
Oh,
A
what is it?
1978 Merlot would never be in the castle of the Lithuanian crown prince.
Damn.
This sort of attention to detail is what will save your life.
As it is, I'm already inclined to go to the Garde Royale in order to seek out this obvious infiltrator.
Yes.
I don't know.
Sal, you were perfect. Angus, very good. I was having a great time. I thought, could have used a little bit more talk about the exports. But ultimately, You've got potential. You just need to make sure you get everything in your legend correct.
Okay, wait. I know I can do this with practice. Just please give me another chance. Let me continue taking your class. I swear I won't let you down. Once this is all done, I will be very good at this. I promise.
Oh, absolutely. After a performance like that, we're going to be having private lessons at least once a week.
Oh God,
May I attend?
I'm excited for the Okay.
Oh, I insist on it. Eustache has very few things that make me feel alive anymore. It's exciting to find a new one.
I think this is good. If you will continue teaching me, I will continue trying to be the best student I can, and I will do whatever it takes. I really do want to be a field agent. I really, really do. And I'm sorry, Sal, if that conflicts with what you wanted for me, but I gotta find my own way, man.
Angus, I never would have signed you up to be a field agent if I knew you would have taken me up on the offer. But now that you are in training and you're beginning to get your feet wet, I can't help but see just how much you're glowing.
Among other things.
I can't help but see how much you're glowing. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is what's
Wow.
right for you.
Well, I at least appreciate you giving me the opportunity to try. And we've been going on long enough. I think that's going to do it for us here at Heroes Don't Do Paperwork. Listeners at home, thanks for listening to this and this very personal moment for the three of us.
It's been a beautiful catharsis.
But
could one of you boys please put the chair back under my feet?
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. There's the chair right there. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Thank you very much.
All right, well, for the listeners at home, try to do the right thing. Sal, I'm really not loving this jacket. Is there any way we could get the whole organization to change its name?
I think it's more a matter of you adapting to your situation. Maybe you just lean into the whole S.H.A.R.T thing. Maybe get a tattoo, S.H.A.R.T for life. Something like that to really own it.
I don't know. I'll think about it. Hey everybody, Angus here. As always, Sal Bedfellow is played by Matthew Wally. Matthew and I are both members of Quest Friends Forever, the Dungeons & Dragons inspired improv team. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Quest Friends Forever. Eustache Henge was played by Jonas Mclean. Jonas wanted us to give a shout out to Improv College, which is an improv school that focuses on teaching online classes. So you can take a lot of cool classes with teachers and students from around the world. We think that's really cool. Check them out at improvcollege.ca. Thanks for listening.